So this right here is the very first picture that we saw of Josh. You see this picture and there's really no adjective to describe the feeling that overcomes you of loving this child so much and knowing that he's yours. So my husband and I got married young. I was 21. He had just turned 22. And I've always wanted to be a mom. We knew we wanted children. He said 2, I said 4, so he figured we'd have 4. Had the plan, I'm gonna teach for a few years and then we'll start trying to have kids. Well, 6 months into trying, nothing was happening. And I'm kind of driven, so I thought I'm not gonna waste any time, went to see an infertility specialist, and sure enough, it was gonna be difficult for us to conceive based on the testing. Devastated me, devastated him. How could God do this? All we've ever wanted to be was parents. All I wanna be is a mom. And why, God? Why is this not gonna be easy for us? Did numerous treatments, did the insemination route, in vitros. Turns out that the 3rd attempt at in vitro worked and we got twins. Our twins were about 2.5 years old and we thought, hey, in vitro worked the first time, let's try it again. We want more kids, let's try it. We went back and did some more procedures, ended up doing 4 more in vitros and none of them worked. And we had told our infertility specialist, we are gonna work at this until you tell us we're wasting your time and our money. I said, if it were you and your wife, what would you do? He said, I think we'd be done. I said, you'll never see me again. And I walked out the door and at the time went home and looked up every adoption agency I could find. And I thought, we're just gonna adopt. We can do this, we'll just adopt, no big, I was probably more ready than my husband, and he was a little more apprehensive. At the time then, my twins were 4, and he's like, whoa, they are potty trained, they are done with naps, I'm good. Let's just be good. And I knew enough to know that we both needed to be on board, 100% on board for adoption, or it wasn't something we should do. And so I said, okay. I threw away all the brochures. This was back when, things weren't online. You actually got packets. I had all these packets lined up on my counter and I got rid of them all. And I proceeded to sell everything. I was at peace, like this is good. About 6 months later, we were visiting some friends, actually my sister's lake house, and unbeknownst to me, my husband was sitting on the beach with one of her old college friends who had just returned from Russia with their 2nd adopted child. I was out in the lake on the boat, I think, and had no idea that he was having this conversation. And we got in the car on the way home then after that, and out of the blue, he leaned over and looked at me and he said, we still want more kids, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, we don't really have a good reason not to adopt. And honestly, I smacked him and across the car and I said, I sold everything. And he said, well, we'll just get new stuff, it's okay. Honestly, the elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to admit is, what if I don't love this child like my own? Right? If you have biological children, you think, well, instant love with that biological child, and what if I don't feel that way? What if I don't think they're cute? What if I don't feel any connection? It was that way for my husband. He's like, what if I just don't know. What if I don't feel the same way about an adopted child as I do Kyle and Emily? What if I don't feel that way? And he'll be the first to tell you that the second he laid eyes on the pictures of our kids, they were our kids. And I have a photo of my husband holding Josh at the orphanage on our visit trip. And he's holding him like this. And the look he had in his eye, I remember it hitting me that that's the same look he had when he held our twins. And it was the same. And he will tell you that God worked a miracle in his heart, and it was his child, so. think the thing I love most about my job is just the ability to connect with families and be able to be on this amazing journey with them. Having been on the journey myself, I love the journey. I love the ride and being on it with families, and just consider it an honor to be able to be on this journey with families.